I got the two punch combination. I got the sage smoke running. I got the sage smoke running for you, and I got the mint crystals running for you. They both, I mean, look, man, look, ain't no whole lot to it. The joint fire. This is how you purify the body as well. Everybody walking around holding the sage, and hitting the corner, room, moving around the room, moving around the rooms. But what about the body? Pull a thing right up under your nose and just, it hit though. It's when you pull it in, you can feel it. It hits you. It's a tough pull. You know what I do? I go into a pranayama session with the sage smoke right up under me, pull it in and I hold it, let it go all through the system. I want it to move around there. Look, you can even hear my voice because it's kind of like, it's biting, but I love it though because I know what it does. Look, everything here is upside down. All the things that bring pleasure, when you chase those things, you inevitably have to go back the other way because once the sun arrives, the nighttime has to follow. Can you get that? Once the sun arrives, the nighttime has to follow. So if all day we just trying to bring as much sun as possible, as much sun, we're only chasing sun, and life has to play the yin-yang game and bring everything back into balance, then guess what's going to be chasing you every trip? Nani? Nighttime. Because balance has to be given. Perfect. Balance must be maintained. So when you chase it, all humans do for the most part is chase pleasure, chase satisfaction. And their whole day, their whole planning phase is geared toward bringing more satisfaction. That's all fine. But if life has to create balance in the form of the opposite, then if all you do is chase things that are easy, that are satisfactory, that are pleasure-based, what is life going to be chasing you down with? The opposite end, because if you only want heads and you pick up the coin, you're going to hold tails as well. You don't have no choice because they're both on the same coin. So you can't have one without the other, which is why I would offer the advice to voluntarily seek out discomfort in your actions. Because guess what? If you only chase pleasure and satisfaction and life is chasing you with a knife like Jason with negativity, what about if you take the opposite approach? Oh my God! Hold on. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I voluntarily chase negative experiences? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do things difficult for the sake of doing things difficult? You've been doing the opposite your whole life. What has come about as a result? Shots fired! Shots fired! Got him! It goes back to this nonsense of, I gotta relight my joint. It goes back to this idea of common sense. Common sense says this, common sense says that. And what do we say about common? It is always to be avoided. You're correct, sir. Now, that doesn't mean follow what I'm telling you. What I'm saying is think critically and openly as if you have no premeditated ideas, no ideas that you're coming to the game with. Let's look at the experience only. Only the experiences that have come, because odds are you and your friends have experienced the exact same things. Life unfolds in a certain way, and it's not subjective. There is a way to identify the way things happen. Nani? Yeah, boy. But we get trapped off where? How do we get trapped off? We get trapped off in the fact that we can't predict the timing on how things unfold. So we can't say at 4 o'clock, if I do this in this fashion, by 8 o'clock tomorrow, this thing is going to happen as a result. And because you can't predict the timing, it throws people off. Because in this physical reality, if I throw a coin in the air, I can pretty much predict based on how high I threw it, how long it's going to take to come down. And you can see it. It's getting in there. Get your sage lit up now. Put it up under you. Let it get inside of you. Let it start to work out. Look, man, everything follow each other. Everything goes up together. Everything goes down together. And most times in life, when we try to build one aspect of our lives, we ignore the other ones. And even worse, sometimes we pull from the other ones to give our mental and physical resources to the thing we're trying to build. And at the same time, the other things are falling apart. And if everything must go up together, what's going to happen in the long run? Nothing. Nothing's going anywhere because you're trying to build one thing without focusing on the rest of the things around you. You're trying to focus on your health while you're not trying to focus on your mind, while you're not trying to focus on your environment, while you're not trying to focus on your spiritual development, while you're not trying to focus on whatever. You have to grab as many things in your sphere, in your auric sphere as possible, and just try to pull them all up together. You see, that comes to another point. Let me get this stuff out of there. You see, this'll make your nose run. You ain't got no cold, no flu, or nothing like that. That's just because there's still things building up, just not enough to trigger the body to start sending it out. That's what happens when you have a cold. Let it slow down for a minute. Let me get out of the mic, blow my nose. Like you want to hear that in high def. Yeah, we just gonna keep it real here. We ain't really... Look, let us slow down and realize the truth on how things unfold is through trial and error. You see how things happen, and then from there, you move forward. You move forward from how things are happening, and you say, it's trial and error. That's the king of navigating this reality. I'm trying to recall something. I had it right there and it left. That means it's not supposed to come out right now. I'm going to go so far as say the things that come to you in your life, they don't come through you doing a thing. Look at that, how it just falls right back in there when you slow down. It came right back, I promise you. When you see, everything is upside down. When you let the water, when you try to grab as much water as you can, you don't end up with none. When you let it flow naturally, it just comes of its own accord. Get over here! Jesus, it's amazing. Now look, the way that we consider how our bodies move and how we will this thing called ourselves is completely upside down. I'm not even gonna get this up in a way to try to convince you. You just listen to it and see if it feels true to you. This is how we assume things to be as far as operating in this world. You have a thing called free will. You can move your arm, you can move your head, you could go and talk to the person that just crossed the street if you want to, or you don't talk to them. You can get in your car. You can do these things as you will them. And because of that, you feel like you are actually moving yourself around and unfolding life the way you want it to unfold. That's the sage just hitting me. Don't worry about it. Just get the water that's coming through here. Now, what I'm going to give you is this. That's completely upside down. And the real way that you are interacting here is your physical nature is on its own, by itself. It is mimicking and it's creating a representation of what you are internally. You live inside of the self, inside of this thing here. You're not this flesh, but the way that it operates is I'm trying to get it good. I got the essence, but I want to deliver it clean.
Just do it.
It is reading, in a sense, what you are internally or what you would like to express internally and creating these actions by itself. Now, the reason why difficult things are difficult to do is because most of the time you don't really want to do it. So the thing that this physical feel it, don't listen to the intellect, just feel these words. Now, say you want to, you say, I want to go to the gym and start and get this excellent, stupid, powerful physique for whatever reason, not good or bad, but you want to do that. But you find it so difficult to actually do it in the physical reality, even though you know all the steps necessary. You want to start eating a certain way. You know how to get the body that you want intellectually, but it's so difficult to do in the physical reality. But we still say it's us doing all these things. This is the evidence that is not you per se doing it, but a branch that is connected to you, the tree, internal, invisible. You don't really want to do it, which is why the representation, this physical thing, cannot actually put the plan into motion. The way that you change that is by changing your understanding on why you should do it, building things internally that changes your perspective as far as completing that action, not trying to muscle and push the flesh into doing something that you don't want to do. And I'm going to go even farther on that. Give me a second. I'm going to go even farther on that and unfold a whole nother premise. Just listen to how this thing is coming together. Don't use the intellect to try to make sense of it. How does it feel as far as, I just told you that I'm moving my hands and it's not even me moving the flesh. The flesh is recreating what I'm trying to show it internally, externally. How does that feel to you? Forget about what they taught you in biology. That gotta hit someplace. Come on. I'm gonna go even further into it for you.
A few moments later.
Don't go nowhere. That's the mint crystals coming through.
2 hours later.
Matter of fact, let me relight the sage. You should do the same thing too. Because guess what? As these things are unfolding, I bet you, what is more important than breath, than life, the energy coming inside of you? So if we are breathing concentrated doses of sage, while at the same time clearing our bodies out with the mint crystals, what can come through besides truths authentically that aren't even in a textbook anywhere? But the intellect, let's not jump too far. I'm gonna go further onto it for you. Let me go ahead and deliver on that. Now,
Yeah, boy.
we hear internally and by the way we feel that we don't want to do something and we think we shouldn't do it because not even we think we shouldn't do it, but the intuitive feeling, remember, intuitive is what you have been given in the form of information over and over. So when we have a notion like, yo, I don't really feel like doing this, the idea is that we shouldn't do it as far as practice. But I'm going to tell you this. The fact that you don't want to do a thing, but internally you'd like to see it unfold, is the reason in itself to do it. Because like I told you before, you see watch how it just starts to glue together. I was just freestyling, just letting things flow earlier. Look, I gave it to you like this a minute ago. The things that when you're dealing with life, it's sun and moon. So when we chasing pleasure and the things that we like, they say don't do it, but they don't give you the real reasons why. Because if everything you're doing is trying to build sun, light, fun, the thing that has to chase you, because nature is balanced, is negativity. You stub your toe, you get into a car accident, you have an argument with your family member or your life or your wife or in life too. So check this out. The fact that you don't want to do it intuitively makes it like you shouldn't do it, and then it's difficult to actually put things into practice. But you have to put those two things together. The fact that you don't want to do it is the reason that you should do it, because when you chase the nighttime, instead of the nighttime and negativity chasing you, the sun and daylight is going to chase you as the result of that. So the whole time when we like, yo, negativity has to keep chasing you because all of our days and all of our nights are geared toward chasing more satisfaction and pleasure and entertainment. Cool. Then we came around the corner and says we're not even actually doing this thing in the flesh. We're inside of it as kind of the invisible commander behind the mainframe, and we're sending things in the form of intention, and the body is recreating it in the form of action, which is why when you send a certain thing, as you know, intellect and words are weak in that realm. So you say, I really want to lose weight, I really want to save this money, I really want to stop spending frivolously, but words are just things that we created so that we can communicate. They don't really exist in the form that we use them. So what the body is reading is how you really feel about the thing. So if you feel like, this thing is difficult, I'm not in the mood to do no difficult stuff, it's going to be hard to get the thing that is just recreating what you are sending it to go into. That's why it doesn't never happen. That's why everybody knows how to lose 100 pounds, but they don't do it. But this is how you can connect those pieces through understanding. Check it out. When you chase the sun, which means when you chase, I don't want to confuse it because I don't want nobody to miss this. When you chase pleasure, the sun, light, when you chase satisfaction, and all you do and everything that you do is geared toward getting more satisfaction, then night has to follow, which means life has to follow you with negativity. When you know that, then you can see the benefits that come as a result of actually chasing the negativity and the difficult actions. And this is how we can use that new information. Now you sending different codes to the body. So when you like, oh man, this is going to be tough, I don't really want to. But if I chase the discomfort, I think Jordan Peterson said it like, he said something like, you don't have a choice to carry a burden or bear a cross, but you do have the choice to bear which cross that you have to carry. And that's a different way, of intellectualized, biblical way of saying the same thing. When you just try to put the cross down and get on a bed and have the people carry the bed while you eat the grapes, if that's what you want your life to be, guess what? Balance has to be restored. When you put a hot cup of water on the table and come back in the morning, it's going to cool down to room temperature. If you put a freezing cold cup of water on the table and you come back in the morning, it's going to heat up to room temperature. You have to get to zero, which means balance must be restored. So when you do the negative things, which in the long run will help you, because if you go into the gym, if you're eating more healthy, if you're saving money and you're not spending and a billion other things, hold on, because the mint crystal's doing its job. Give me a second. You see where we going here.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. You see the connections coming around. That's why this format is better. That's why this format is better. This is why this style is better. When you come organic with it, the dots just connect themselves. Steve Jobs said it best. You can never see the dots moving forward, but you can always see them clearly looking back. I did not know that the original conversation that we started having about the body not being you in actual function, but recreating what you're sending to it in the language that they use to communicate, not English or Spanish or Chinese. Those are just concepts. But then when we get the understanding that when you chase negativity, or I don't even want to say chase negativity because that comes off wrong. When you chase difficulty, when you don't run from things that are not simple or not easy, don't run from things because they're not easy, then guess what? After bearing that cross and being hung up, guess what happened to Jesus? He became king of heaven. After he took on all, these are just, I'm not going to tell you that it didn't happen or it did happen, but what I'm going to tell you is the essence of it is when you take on responsibility in the form of difficult things, life has to send you a balancing beam. It has to balance you back out, which is why 99% of people, their whole lives, everything they do is get, even all the food that they eat. And I'm not saying you're good or bad. I'm just laying it out as it is. Let me get my sage pack going. If anybody got a better way to keep the sage lit, Go ahead and put it in the comments. We're going to start doing giveaways and everything. Yo, guess what? Freestyle. This is the gift if you stayed here for the whole video, because most people ain't do it yet. This is the gift. The 25th comment, I'm going to send you $25 Cash App. Oh my God! Try me out. The 25th comment on this video, I don't care if it come in 2 days, 2 hours, or 2 years. The 25th comment, I'm going to send you $25 Cash App. Just like that. That's how we doing it. But I lost my train again. Because let's slow down. Let me get some more out of me. Don't go nowhere. This thing it's getting thick. This is the thickness. This is not the premeditated. I got 4 points on the bulletin board that I'm trying to tell you that I put out, that I took from somebody else's video, and I'm just giving it to you. This is the real deal.
Yeah, boy.
These ain't truths that's coming from these 5 steps to this and 4 steps to that, and the same stuff coming around. This is stuff coming through. This is etheric energy being translated and coming out. It's not even me. I didn't even know I was going to say any of that stuff. I don't know what I'm going to say next, but I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this organic translation here. I mean, how long we going to keep running down the same street and not getting anywhere before we say, hold on, maybe this style and this direction and this whole theme is wrong. Everything changes through understanding.
That was legitness. Yeah.
If you knew for a fact doing difficult things was going to bring you satisfaction in the form of pleasure, and the difficult thing that you pick up to do is already beneficial to you, how much simpler once you really get that? Because intellectuality in itself is the weakest thing you can rely on when it comes to transformation of yourself. And I don't got to tell you that. I don't have to tell you that. You already know it for a fact. 100%. You've been living it your whole life. Intellectuality does not change anything. Fact storing is weak.
Fatality.
You win. Perfect.
We eat for pleasure. The things that we consume as far as entertainment is for pleasure. All the activities that we take on for pleasure. Everything that we do it for pleasure and relaxation and comfort. So necessarily, if life is truly about balance, the thing that must come as a result is negativity in some form or fashion. But what if we reverse the flow? What if you just, I don't even have to tell you this, but you know it when you hear it. What if you just ate for medicinal purposes only, no flavor considered? If you never ate for flavor, if you took a whole year and didn't consider flavor at all, and you only ate foods that reacted chemically appropriate, not even beneficial for you, would you have a better life? Come on, man. My phone hit me with the synchronicity and everything. Would you have a better life? Yes or no? The answer is yes, and you know it. Now, if everything is a reflection of each other in this reality, and it's true for the body as far as taking in nutrient, what does that say about everything else? Man, internalize this. Realize that you're not the doer, so don't beat yourself up about it. You can't do anything unless you really understand it first. And everything everybody regurgitating is just to tell you something that sounds good to you so you can like them more. Don't worry, just love yourself, blah, blah, blah. You can't just love yourself if you are authentically at your core unhappy with the way that you're moving in life. That's dismissive and disrespectful. I'm going to start blasting these YouTubers too, who out here spitting this weak spiritual nonsense. I don't care how many subscribers you got. I'm going to start screenshotting them and breaking down the nonsense that they tell you piece by piece.
Just do it.
Listen to that. Boom, boom, boom. You heard what they listen. And then just dissection because they're doing a disservice at your expense. And I don't even care that much about that. I just care about exposing the truth. I'm not even gonna be like, yo, I'm just trying to save you, the viewer. Then I'm just as inauthentic as them. Right? Nah. It's problematic and they are predatory. And you can see it. But if you don't know any better, then you're going to follow that, and you're going to follow for 20 years, and you're going to get no progress. Nothing's going to change. You ain't going to get no better at nothing. And even worse, if it really works the way they want it to, you're going to settle and fall into this idea of, well, it's just the way it is, and there's nothing I could do. It's a joke. It's nothing you could do in the form of actual physical doing. But if you take in information and internalize different processes to have the physical nature reflect, then you don't have to do anything because it's going to happen of its own accord. Everything's inside out. Damn, these mint crystals, boy. It's right there. That's the smoke coming from this right here. Let me show it to you. Here we go. Put it in front of my face so the pyramids auto zoom. Got a pretty good camera. Auto zoom work good. Where you gonna go? What are we rushing for? Why are we rushing through it? If you move too quick, you're gonna miss it. The wave gonna come with another information bomb, and it's gonna get right past you. Don't worry, I'm gonna do something in post so you don't hear all that so thick and stupid like that. Yo. Wait till I figure out how to do the live. This might as well be live. You ain't gonna see no cuts and jumps and all of that. This is as it's coming out, real deal Holyfield. Okay? Real deal Holyfield. It's the real joint. This is what's necessary. If you really want change, you have to understand the perspective that everybody's looking at things from is wrong. It's not a coincidence that the losers are 90-something%. Come on. How many times we gonna keep running down the same game? How many different times we gonna look at all of these different influencers? And I'm not trying to take you from them. If you think my content is correct, then go for it. Look, if you don't, then get missing. Get missing. Look, because ain't nothing nobody say gonna coincide with what I'm saying. You ain't heard nobody say that. You ain't heard Infinite Water or whoever else you dealt with talk like this. They ain't gonna do it because of the brand and whatever they created in the. Look, we ain't gonna do that in this one. We'll do it in another one.
Oh my God!
On that guy specifically.
FBI, open up!
It's just coming all out. This is beautiful. You see the coming out. It's coming out. Look. It's about consumption and excretion. Excretion is not just going to the bathroom with the number 1 and number 2. You excrete through your nose. You excrete through your pores when you go and sweat and work out. You excrete through your eyes when you tear up and you cry. All of these things are excretions. And excretion is the getting out of waste material. So these things are just pulling waste out of us. And if we don't, the less waste, come on, man, I ain't got to tell it to you, do I? Let's just lay it all the way out. The more you have in your body in the form of toxicity and waste, then the more you're going to behave in that manner, because like attracts like, it's truth to that. The more you're going to be influenced by the same energies because you're going to be pulled toward what you are, and the more you, what they say, you are what you eat, right? Don't run from the power. Don't run from the power. Don't run from the power. Take the power in your hands. We should do this for a certain amount of time if we're going to make it a real podcast, though. Because I'm just going. I don't even know what time it is. Don't be afraid to look at things from a perspective individually without having anyone to agree or coincide or support or reinforce the idea. You know what reinforces the idea? When you try it and you get benefit and you get results. They'll tell you something like you can't speak to out-of-body beings because you can't prove to somebody else that something's coming through in here. So a lot of people will tell you that you can't do it because guess what? They don't have nobody or no thing to reinforce those ideas. Look, I don't even want to jump that deep in this one right here. We getting too deep. I don't want to get that deep yet. But we're going there. Look, it's 30 minutes now. We are going to get deep, and the more we do this, the more raw it's going to be. Who is it?
It's me.
I'm working. What do you want?
Put my clip in my hair.
What do you say?
Put the clip in my hair.
All right, I'm coming. Give me a minute. I'm almost done. Synchronicity. That's my daughter. As soon as I said we're going to wrap this thing up, guess what happens? Come on, life talk clearly. But if you're not used to the way it speaks, you will miss it every time. Stop playing with the door. I said I'm coming in a minute. You have an idea. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what idea my daughter has. You can run if you want. I'm still ending the video as soon as this is over. I don't care. Like I said, if you don't like it, get missing. What do you want?
Please put it in, please.
Okay, I'll put it in. Come here. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing? Wave right there.
Hi.
All right, we're going to end this. Stay well. We're going to double back in another round. Peace. Say peace out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't worry, I'll fade the video out. Where's the clip? There it is.
This one.